Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Rundown. I'm Ryan Dugan. Welcoming in again is PJ Pedersen to the show, and it has been an off time for a bit, hasn't it?
You know, I'm kind of wondering if people even remember that this show exists. It has been an, I'd say, at least a good 2.5 months or more. I mean,
Probably
we've
three,
been
maybe
busy
something like
since the
that.
last. Yeah, we've been busy since the last episode dropped. I mean, I've been pretty much just slaving away now with two jobs and getting ready for the season. But you've been once again this year, Mr. World Traveler, starting off the year a month in Arizona, followed by a month in Florida, and then you've been running all over Helen Creation.
World traveler, right? I just spent my time in the United States. It's not exactly the world, but in the world of racing, it's a lot of traveling we were doing. Yeah, full month of Arizona in the month of January. Then I went down to Florida for February. Went for the multiple big shows we had there: the IMCA TV World Internationals, the Ernie Mincy Early Thaw. Then I did some work with Tony Stevens over in the Pit Row TV for their Legend Car Winter Nats that we covered down there, USLCI TV, and then the Clash on the Coast, rounding out that whole trip with a great week of racing action in Florida. The Clash on the Coast, it did not disappoint at all, like every year.
But wait, you're forgetting one thing about Clash on the Coast.
Ooh.
I don't even know how you ended up entering. You don't even know how you ended up entering, but you won
Oh,
one of the
right.
coveted. You got to go on the dolphin cruise on your day
Oh,
off.
that was fun. That was a good time. It got to see some dolphins, and I did not realize how they get the dolphins to surf with the boat, but it's really fun. It's basically the dolphins play with the boat. They love to just swim alongside. It was good to see them. But we saw some great racing action. Speaking of great racing action, we've got some news and notes to cover over from the most recent bit. We're going to have to take another episode at some point to cover all this other stuff we've done in the past couple months, but we have fresh news and fresh things to cover, and starting off the season kickoff at the Clay County Fair Speedway.
Oh man, and it was an absolutely awesome night. Um, Rare instance of some character in the track coming out of turn four. So a little bit of whoop-de-doos developing, which I know Trent Chen's not happy about, but you know what? With the track conditions the way they were, the weather the way it's been, you got to have that. You got to expect that this early on. And honestly, I thought it helped improve some of the racing. Not that it really needed it there. I mean, let's take a look. Your Sport Compacts, Levi Volkert kicks the year off with a win. Corey Probst takes the Hobby Stocks. Coming from, I believe, North Dakota, Gabriel Deschamps, whichever, takes the stock cars and is able to not only hold off but pass the defending Super National Stock Car champion Kelly Shryock to take that win. So great start to the year for him. And speaking of Shryock, it just wasn't his night. Got passed by the now two-time and defending IMCA National Modified Champion, Chaz Baca. Baca takes the win. So also Sport Mods, Alec Fett takes the win. Definitely not the tail of the tape there as far as that feature goes. We'll get to that here in a moment. But yeah, Baca, Fett, Deschamps, Probst, and Volkert drawing first blood at the Clay County Fair Speedway for the season.
Yep, D-Shop making his trek from North Dakota and proved he's around to stay as he just put on a show, getting up to the back bumper and challenging Kelly Shryock, the veteran of the Clay County Fair Speedway and the region in general, just a racing veteran. Like, if you see Kelly Shryock lined up next to you, you're going to have a fight on your hands. And fight he did, and Deschamps took the win. And got to thank Sean Neested for actually asking for the pronunciation of Deschamps and Victory Lane. That's how we know. But
Yeah, Jerry Van Sickle not able to be there. Of course, that's the regular voice of the Clay County Fair Speedway. So he brought in a ringer in our friend Sean Neestad. So big thank you to them. But I'll tell you, it was really interesting with Deschamps because not only is he driving stock car, he's driving sport mod too, and didn't pick up the win, but he was definitely in the mix all night long in both classes. Of course, big story is Alec Fett able to take home the win. but it didn't look like that through, I'd say, probably 80% of the feature, as it looked like his brother Colby Fett was going to take the win. And all of a sudden, the horse just pulls up lame and he ended up pulling off. And next thing you know, Alex battling for the lead gets the lead and takes the win.
And that he did, walked away with it. And speaking of the winners and everything, Matt Loft wasn't up front like we normally see him. I think he had to start deeper in the field, but he was on the charge making his way forward. So the normal winner out there at the Clay County Fair Speedway, the dominating car, wasn't the winner of the night, but he still was making his way forward, making his presence known.
My opinion on it is this. Yes, he had an off night compared to what you normally think of when you see Matt Loft and Clay County Fair Speedway, but it was the first race of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to worry about it. Obviously, new car, maybe a couple of headaches. They'll get the car figured out, and he'll be back to wiping the floor with everybody here sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we'll have to see for sure. He's definitely a one to watch out for anytime the sport mods are on track. If you see the 9 car, the 00, and a Alec Fett too, like you see any of those names, Cam Reimers, which we'll get to at Boone later on, but you see those names, you're going to have a tough fight on your hands anytime you get there. But Alec Fett being the champion of the night on that one, Chaz Baca made his way, and he's the modified winner, and he had to hold off Shryock as well. He had to make his way around the number 3 of Shryock around the Clay County Fair Speedway and hold him off as they came to the checkered flag, and he took home the win.
We're going to talk a little more about Clay County Fair Speedway here in just a little bit, but you're going back to the stock cars, Deschamps and Shryock. That kicked off the week. But then we moved into the IMCA Frostbusters, and Friday night, Marshalltown, 196 cars in 5 classes, but the talk of the whole racing community was the stock car feature. It came down the last, I believe it's 2 or 3 laps. You had Kelly Shryock, the legend. You had the game changer, Dallin Murdy, and you had Justin Leuenberg absolutely going to war. Sliders, crossovers, you name it, racing each other clean. And at the end, it came down to just a hair's whisker. Justin Leuenberg takes the win in Marshalltown, narrowly beating Dallin Murdy and Kelly Shryock. And if you have not seen the replay of that, you got to go online and check it out. You are not going to be disappointed. What an absolute barn burner of a feature.
3 cars, 3 lanes of racing, 3 different styles, and Lunenberg, ripping the top line, was able to hold him off and beat the veteran who was hard charging on the low side. That was Kelly Shryock, and Alan Murdy was running the midline, and things got a little tight a couple of times, but no harm, no foul, and everything was able to hold off. Marshalltown winners was Troy Morris, 3rd in the modified. Lunenberg, as we just discussed in the stock cars sport mods, was taken by Deschamps. Gabriel Deschamps in the sport mod took a win this time around. Hobby Stocks, this name we're going to hear a couple of times this time. Dylan Richards took that win, and Sport Compacts. We saw the 7G of Gilbert Aldape taking the win in Marshalltown.
Who's this Dylan Richards guy? I've never heard of. He sounds like a guy that I should know.
I know, right?
Wait, that's right. He came home from Arizona, winning all but one feature. The whole 2 weeks of Winter Nationals?
I think it was 1, maybe 2. I can't remember exactly.
No, it was 1. He only lost one night the entire 2 weeks of Winter Nationals. And and here's the thing. He come home and has been on an absolute tear ever since there as well. I'll tell you right now, I think Dylan Richards is trying to go for a world domination tour in 2025.
I don't know what he's going on about. I don't know what he's trying to do, but he has got something figured out in that IMCA hobby stock, and everyone else has to look out whenever he pulls up to the track because it's going to be a fight. He's going to make his way to the front, and he's going to try to drive away and lap the field.
I'll tell you, Johnny the Jet Sadoff has got to have a grin from ear to ear because obviously he owns Jet Racing, and that is a brand new 2025 Jet hobby stock that came out of the Jet Racing shop, and ever since that thing hit the track, it has been absolutely lights out fast. So it'll be interesting. Of course, he goes to weekly to Eagle Raceway where we both go. And it'll be interesting to see how he does there with the normal mix and how much traveling he does.
We'll have to see, but either way, when you see his name out there, expect him to start making his way to the front.
So going into more Frostbusters, of course, Saturday night was the Frostbusters, the annual Frostbuster at Boone. 173 cars in 4 classes. It was cold.
Oh, it was cold indeed. I think we were sitting at about 40 degrees, down to, I think, almost 30 by the time we were done tearing down. But speaking about Boone, I love the efficiency of their program. We started and had 173 cars, and we got out of the track. I literally said by the end of the broadcast for us, which is later than throwing the checkered flag and done with the interviews, we were done before 9:30 p.m. We were done before 9:30.
Yeah, see, everybody sees how it's run at Super Nationals, where literally the last car is coming off of turn 1 and the next heat's already coming out of turn 4. It's that way. If you've never been there for a weekly show, the weekly shows are run exactly identical to how they do Supernats. It is boom, boom, boom. You're just off on, off on. And that's one thing I love about going to Boone. Yes, the high banks, the action, the nostalgia, the lore of Boone. But if promoters really want to know how to run an effective show, US 30 Speedway on Thursday nights, Boone on Saturday nights, Marshalltown Friday nights, even Stewart on I don't even know what nights
Sundays.
they're running this year, but
Sundays and some Wednesdays. Clay County on Mondays.
Go see how these tracks are run. That is all of them are just an absolute textbook in efficiency on how to get a show in, done, and give you the most bang for your buck.
And you can't forget that Eagle also is very efficient as well when it comes to their Saturday night programs.
Roger,
all these great. Nah, I think they'll forgive you. I mean, we got so many great tracks in the region that we got to cover. And speaking back to the Frostbusters and everything, it wasn't just the cold weather. It wasn't just the quick, efficient program that Boone always puts on. Because remember, they had multiple farm sessions too to keep the track quality, hammered down, and slick. Great for racing action across all 4 of their classes. And the story of the night, the Sport Mod, first feature out there, first A feature of the 2025 season at the Boone Speedway, and it was a 2-horse race up front by Cam Reimers and Cole Suko. Sliders, and crossovers, drag races, battles. I think they only had 1 caution, and they were still just racing each other all race long. And that doesn't even say for what happened behind them. It was racing all over.
So it was definitely a tale of 2 different features. You had third on back battling it out, but then you had Reimers and Suko that were just to say they were on a whole nother planet just doesn't do it justice. But the thing is, while it was a blowout, the action of those 2 up front was just as good as the 3 and 4 wide action behind them for everybody else. So that was just an absolutely action-packed feature. And by the way, congratulations to Cam Reimers, as he did end up pulling that one out. And
only by half a car. Suko was trying. They were both going for it.
Speaking of Friday night's winner in the hobby stocks, he does it again, doubles up on the weekend. Dylan Richards in the 24-hour picks up the hobby stock win. Shryock gets a little bit of redemption for Clay County and for Marshalltown as he picks up the Boone Speedway win. And go figure, it was a tale of, in the stock car and modified, of last year's Super Nationals winners picking up where they left off. Dylan Thornton picks up the modified feature there at Boone Speedway for the Frostbuster. And, of course, they will be opening up their season. Of course, by the time this comes out, they'll have opened up their official season last night. But their season will now kick off in earnest.
Oh, Dylan Thornton, whenever he went and made his bid for the front, it took him a couple laps to get there because he had to fight through the likes of Troy Morris III, Isaac Malacote, and all sorts of contesting battles up ahead, 3 wide, 4 wide action, just trying to go through traffic, and finally he was able to make the lead and just try to walk away from the great battles that were happening behind him. Troy Morris III unfortunately smacked the wall hard coming out of turn number 2 on lap and ended up pulling up short, and unfortunate caution couldn't come out fast enough for it, and he got clocked by Todd Shute, and those cars were both retired for the night after that one. But whew, great racing action in the modifieds. That it was awesome.
And he unfortunately showed the next day they had pulled the rear end out of the car, and yeah, it's not pretty.
Yeah, I would imagine not being clobbered about that hard.
Speaking of not pretty, I mean, it's still pretty. It's just now a lot more wrinkly. Brand new car, first night on it for the Bobcat Jonathan Logue, who is no longer driving modified, strictly going stock car this year. And he turns a turtle with help.
Yeah, he definitely had help on that one. He was a little heated in the infield of that one, and kind of glad we weren't using audio from the wireless cam.
Wait, time out. The Bobcat Jonathan Logue heated? What? No way.
Yeah, kind of good thing we didn't have the audio coming through, because there may have been a little bleeping. But yes, he was a little heated, but rightfully so, though. The replays kind of showed what happened there, and yeah, there was he had a lot of help going up and over on that one.
Yeah. Real quick, something that we're not going to touch much on tonight. I do want to do this in a future episode, but going back to Dylan Thornton's win, and he's had a few really good wins this year. One of the only drivers in the modifieds running the new spec motor option. Obviously, we've had some open motor wins. We've had a lot of crate wins, but he's winning somewhat consistently on that spec motor option. Keep an eye on that. And I think in a later episode, we're going to kind of dig into some numbers and stuff and kind of see the differences. But he's definitely making that new option look really, really good.
Yeah, he's definitely found something under the hood of that 3018 machine that's got him moving forward in a quick hurry.
Well, it's finally time. You've had dirt in your nachos already. My favorite time of the year, season openers are kicking off. We're going to start off with, by the time you're watching this, the day this comes out,
yes,
will be Sunday. Stewart Speedway. They're going to have modified stock cars, sport mods, hobby stocks, their outlaw mini mods, and the Malvern Bank 360 sprint cars joined by the Sprint Invaders. They're going to be taking over the Carl Chevrolet of Stewart International Raceway. Oh, boy. 360 sprint cars on that track. Oh, buddy. Ooh.
I can already tell you there's a bunch of names that are going to head down for that show. I've seen some big sprint car names. You can guarantee that you're going to see the likes of Druki. You're going to see probably the Ballingers head down that way. You're probably see the Carls come out. Like you're going to see a bunch of 360 names come up.
Shaylee Bade. I haven't had a chance to talk to Gunnar Pike, but I know they're wanting to run more 360 stuff. Wouldn't surprise me to see him there. Obviously, your two-time and defending Malvern Bank 360 champion Superman Stu Snyder is going to be starting his run for a three-peat. A bunch of, and like you said, Terry McCarl already said, I'm going to be there. That's a legend name there. So it is going to be well worth the time going. Again, that's Sunday, Stewart Speedway for that. Monday, you will get to go right back to Spencer as the Clay County Fair Speedway will have another round of great racing action Monday night.
Yep, the Clay County Frostbuster is on for Monday night. Modified stock cars, sport mods, hobby stocks, and sport compacts will hit the track once again for a great night of racing action in Spencer, Iowa. Hot laps at 6:45 with racing to follow, and every lap live will be on Advantage Racing TV, which, by the way, Stewart Speedway is going to be on IMCA TV if you can't make it out to the track there on Sunday. Monday, Advantage Racing TV for your live coverage.
Then Thursday. Ooh, can you see the smile on my face?
Yeah, you get to watch race cars finally.
Well, I get to watch them Saturday night at the Eagle practice anyway, but I have been waiting over 6 long months. And with the changes that have come in the off season, I cannot wait. US 30 Speedway, the first night of Thursday Night Thunder is going to hit the track running. And man, the changes are numerous. For those that have been out there to US 30 Speedway, when you come in the ticket booth, you have to go up that walkway hill. And of course, there's holes and potholes and crater holes and minefield holes and whatever to get to the top where the stands are. Well, you know
Not
what?
anymore.
Bobby and Janelle have seen the plight, they've heard, and they've listened. There is now going to be there right now. There is a brand new ticket booth thanks to Morton Buildings. There is a stone wall that basically splits that hill in half, and on the track side of that hill is a brand new walkway. We're recording this on a Thursday night. By the time tomorrow, they are pouring all brand new concrete to do that with the handrail for all those that need it. It is going to be amazing coming into that facility, but that is not all. We announced a few weeks ago a brand new Fan of the Week contest, something that I tried at Crawford County Speedway. It was of success. So T-Bone Truck Stops came on board. Big thank you to T-Bone. The T-Bone Truck Stop Fan of the Week, they'll get 2 free grandstand passes to the race. They get a $25 gift certificate to T-Bone they can use at either the Duncan or Columbus locations. And here's the kicker. And Dugan, I think you'll get a kick out of this. They get to pick an honorary job out of one of 5 positions. They can A, be in the booth with me and Anthony and call a couple of races as an honorary announcer. They can be an honorary race director up in the other side of the tower with the scorers and the race director. They can be an honorary tech man out there in the tech area after the features. They can be an honorary flag man and throw some flags with Caden Murray. Or if they really don't want to do that, they just want a really cool way to see things from a different perspective, they can choose to be in the infield for the features where they'll ride in the pace truck and hand out all the trophies in victory lane. A really, really cool contest and a cool way for to give back to our great fans. Another big thing coming up, and this is mainly for the kids, but we already have some ideas on how we're going to make this a little more adult friendly too. And Dugan, you and Blake from Advantage helped precipitate this and make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, we haven't even announced this on the Facebook yet, but at the time of this recording, it'll be out by the time the show comes out. The Pizza Ranch Party Bus. Yes,
The
that's
party
right.
bus.
We have procured a bus, the same bus that
We used to
ironically
use.
enough used to be the production rig for Advantage Racing TV. And with the help of members of the Good Old Time Racing Association to go up and get the bus, Demon Decals doing the wrap on it, Proven Truck and Trailer Sales for coming on board. And of course, we got you guys on there as well. And Pizza Ranch stepping up big time. We have the Pizza Ranch Party Bus, and it's going to be run every week. Now, what are we doing with it? Simple. Intermission, yours truly is going to pull the bus up. We are loading it with as many kids as we can load it up with. And then while Danielle and Jed are doing track prep, I'm going to be taking the kids around the track during intermission. We do have a couple of surprises we're going to use that bus for, too, that I can't give out just yet. But the Pizza Ranch Party Bus is going to be kicking off as well. Like I said, a lot of really, really cool surprises and new things coming up. I can't wait. Thursday cannot get here soon enough. Plus, I get to announce with Anthony Ainsley again, my partner in crime. So it's going to be awesome. But Thursday, hot laps at 7:20. We will have opening ceremonies at 7:55, racing at 8, and unless it's a complete crash fest, we will be done by 10.
As with always, US 30 Speedway puts on a great show. You're going to have late models, stock cars, sport mods, hobby stocks, and the Crown Vics out there at the Columbus, Nebraska's the Thursday Night Thunder,
The home of Thursday
home of
Night
Thursday Night
Thunder.
Thunder for the US 30
Yep.
Speedway, home of the Abe Lincoln Memorial, which we love to do every single year out there. Going to be a great night of racing action for the opener of their 39th season of competition in Columbus, Nebraska, the US 30 Speedway on Thursday. And then we roll Friday and Saturday. We're down at the Eagle Raceway for the Icebreaker Challenge. Modified special out there as they run 1,000 to win on Friday and 2,000 to win on Saturday for the IMCA Modifieds. And it's going to be a great night, or great 2 nights of racing action there. Sport mods and stock cars also join them for both days. Hobby stocks will just be on Friday, and sprint cars will just be on Saturday as we head down to America's home track, Eagle Raceway.
And just like it says, ladies and gentlemen, for the 2025 season at Eagle Raceway, it's showtime.
That it is. Showtime is the theme of the year. The Icebreaker Challenge is our first go at it before they have their curtain opener the next week or so after that.
By the way, both nights of the Icebreaker Challenge, as is every weekly show at Eagle Raceway, can be seen on Advantage Racing TV. The only specials, or the only races that can't, would be the High Limit Special and the 3 nights of the Lucas Oil Late Model Series. Otherwise, every week, every lap of action, Advantage Racing TV.
Yep, and then we got those classes racing again with a twice as nice challenge on the Icebreaker Challenge. If a mod, stock car, sport mod driver wins both Friday and Saturday night A mains, they win an extra $1,000 bonus from Auto Transmatic. That's going to be a good night, good time.
Auto Transmatic stepping in big time. Can't thank them enough for everything they do as well with Eagle Raceway. So the first weekend of the season is coming up, and God, I can't wait.
It's going to be a great time.
Get to hang out with you Friday, Saturday, and whoever else you bring with you. And, obviously Thursday night's going to be Thursday night. So it's going to be good.
Oh, it's going to be good. It's always good down there at the Eagle Raceway. It's going to be good anytime we get out to the racetrack because it's always a blast to hear the engines roar, see the dirt fly, and see everybody come out to cheer on their favorite drivers out in the stands.
So to kind of cap things off, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. There has been an exodus from the West Coast or the Western area. We're talking Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Arizona, and it's not so much because they're bad areas. There's not that much racing available, and by the way, folks, I did not put my Triple Threat Ricky Thornton Jr. shirt on for this reason. It just happened to be the one I grabbed, which is apropos. We have another crop of people from out west who have officially moved to the Midwest. We got Troy Morris III and his whole family. In fact, his dad, Troy, has already set up a sandwich shop. You've got Zane DeVilbus Chassis, has now moved his whole entire operation and family out here. Chaz Baca Jr. is actually going to be staying out here through the summer and racing, and who knows, he might end up staying out here, but you got to think about it. Tom Berry Jr., you've got Ricky Thornton Jr., you've got Dylan Thornton. Good Lord. You got Colin Hibden. I'm forgetting some
Ryan
big
Roth
names.
Ryan Roth has made his way up here as well from the Arizona range.
Yeah, that's correct, too. He's now living in Iowa as well. So many big names who have a lot of success, and they're choosing to uproot and move halfway across the country here because if you look at it, Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Illinois, you can pretty much run 7 nights a week if you want to. You can do a pick and choose schedule and still be able to win a national championship because there are so many tracks running so many different nights. If you're willing to put in the time and the travel, the world's your oyster.
I mean, in all reality, when you talk about just our little speck of the area of South Dakota, Iowa, Nebraska, that little corner of the market, and even southern Minnesota, just this little quad state region, you could easily be racing 5 nights out of the week, if not 6 to 7, depending on track schedules and specials in the area, of different diversifying tracks that are on their weekly basis. Like Buena Vista runs on the Wednesday nights. You got Algona and you got US 30 that run on Thursday nights. You got a lot of tracks that run on Friday nights, and most everybody races Saturdays. Then you got some Sunday tracks like Vinton, Iowa runs on Sundays. You got a track up in Minnesota that Stewart runs on Sundays too. Track up in Minnesota that runs on Sundays. And then Clay County Fair Speedway, which regularly runs on Monday programs, some Tuesdays and some Wednesdays, depending on the special of that week. And yeah, you've got so much competition in this area too. So you've got efficient run tracks, you've got great competition out of everybody in the region. It's no wonder everybody comes to the Midwest when they want to talk about, I want to race against the best, or I want to race against more, I want to race more, I want to race against higher competition. There's a reason people come to the Midwest.
Exactly. And, if you look at the amount of national championships that have been won out of here, you talk about Matthew Loft, you talk about, even though he's not going to win another national championship out of Harlan, Mike Nichols, because obviously they moved to Texas, but has won all those out of there. You look at all of the hobby stock guys that have won national championships. And I mean, it's really amazing that they're coming from these areas. We're breeding national champions.
That we are. I mean, look at all the names that have started off in the IMCA ranks and Iowa ranks and Nebraska that have moved on to bigger and better pastures, like running with the Lucas Oil Boys, running with the World of Outlaws. I mean, our competition is amazing for what it is at the level of what we are.
And now you look at guys like Tim Ward. You got to look at guys like Dallin Murdy. They're starting to move up into, they're still running modified and stock car, but they're starting to also dip into late model, see if they can work their way up and maybe do the same thing. You look at Mike Smith, won everything except a national championship. He's now up in sport mod. Granted, he kind of had some help there as Ron Lordson, the driver of the 10 modified, retired and said, you know what? I'm not going to sell my car. I'm giving it to that kid because he can wheel it. And so far, he's done pretty good in the couple 3 races he's run it. But he's now moving up. It's the progression. We've got more guys that are starting to branch out past the local ranks, past the IMCA ranks, because of what they've been able to do in the area, in the sanctioning body. And they're taking that success and parlaying it into bigger and better efforts.
That they are. And like I said before, there's a reason that people are moving to the Midwest, because of the competition basis, the skills, the tracks, the facilities, and the support for the racing community here in the Midwest is second to none.
Absolutely. I mean, we're all a tight-knit community. I mean, I myself am going from here at Beyond the Booth Productions home base in Omaha all the way over to Carroll, Iowa, to the Culvers of Carroll race car show on Sunday, because, obviously Kevin Ranke, a good friend, great supporter of racing. He's also the longtime Sport Compact sponsor of the Midwest Madness Tour. So of course I'm going to go make the 2-hour trek over there and throw some support his way, as well as, for the tour. But it's because we're all a tight-knit group and we support our own. And it's great when we see our drivers, Ricky Thornton Jr., Tim Ward, Dylan Thornton, you name it, working their way up higher and higher, because we know their talent. We've seen them grow their talent from when they started to where they're at now.
Oh, absolutely. Well, with that, Rays fans, we're going to have to see you next time here on the Rundown. Looking forward on the YouTube schedules. Rapid Speedway and the Clay County Fair Speedway will be coming out this week on the releases for the free on the YouTube channels. And if you're a channel member, you get to see all that ahead of time. As of right now, it's scheduled all the way out to the 24th. So go ahead and check out the look ahead there. And as always, we hope to see you at the tracks. Looking forward to see you at the Clay County Fair Speedway, Eagle Raceway, US 30 Speedway, Stewart Speedway, or anywhere else we may see you down the road. PJ, thanks for hopping on with this one, and we'll see you all next time.
Thanks, and thanks for everything, Stan.